Hi, I'm Lisa Cockerham, and I am the project director for the Illinois Department of Transportation's Highway Construction Career Training Program at Dawson Technical Institute. Dawson Technical Institute is a part of Kennedy King College, which is one of 7 city colleges of Chicago. And in my role, I am responsible for recruitment, marketing, outreach, enrollment, and overseeing the Highway Construction Careers Training Program, which is also known as HCCTP. This program was created by IDOT in partnership with the Federal Highway Administration in order to increase access and opportunities for minorities and women interested in careers in construction. This program was designed this way because if you look at the construction industry and other areas as well, it's been dominated by men and particularly white men. And so there hasn't been a lot of representation. And we are in 2021 and you still hear stories about the first Black person, the first female to break a record or to achieve a position in industries when it's not that the talent isn't there, it's just that we need programs, including our partnership with Trino Inc., to help make people aware as well as have an advocate to let people know that the talent is here and you should consider candidates. I've been at Dawson for 3 years, and since connecting with Trino Inc., it has definitely been a beneficial opportunity for me, our students, as well as the graduates who have been placed in careers. Trino Inc. has been strategic and collaborative and solely focused on helping not just the students from the highway construction program, but all of the students at Dawson who have been trained in various trades to get opportunities. So there have been a series of events. I first went to an event for a building project for the Rush University Medical Center, and there were training providers and community organizations from all areas of the city, as well as union contractors at this meeting. And I remember at this first meeting, Alicia went over the success stories of all of the placements from the other community partners. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm thinking, okay, I want in. And I remember I was so impressed with who was at the table, including the employers. And then I was also pleased that Trino helped deliver with the placements. And so we need more opportunities like that. So that was the first. And since then, we've had placements. And so that's what made the partnership extremely beneficial. And so after the pandemic, we had to pivot and do remote everything. And so there were a series of presentations that were coordinated. And so I was able to get the students, instructors, as well as the faculty, and Trino Inc. brought to the table CSX Transportation. There have been other presentations, but we had a series of these employer presentations with CSX Transportation, and they were so helpful. And so prior to the pandemic, we probably would not have had the opportunity to have staff and representatives from across the country here for Dawson students. And so during the presentations, they talked about the different positions that could be available for a student coming out of Dawson. They talked about their career history, and one specific instance that stood out, we had a graduate that was very discouraged and unhappy about her current role. And I'm thinking, well, this is not the time to share this because you have HR, you have the training and learning manager, you don't want to make this bad impression. But what the staff did from CSX is they actually turned it into a learning opportunity and they listened to her concerns. They talked about the challenges of working in a male-dominated industry, and then they coached her while we had many classes and students and graduates on this presentation, but they took the time and it turned out to be a helpful opportunity, even though I thought, that's not the time to bring up your concerns when you're right in front of HR, but it was a realistic story. It was true. And I was impressed with the way the presenters handled it. And everybody talked about it later in different classes. I heard from the instructors and the students. Another success story is through that partnership, we've had several students to actually get offers of employment. And with the partnership with Trino, we aren't talking about jobs, these are careers. And so that's what's the best thing. These are not jobs. And every occasion, no matter what employer, Alicia is always saying, we're trying to help you work yourself into a career and not just off of a project. So I spoke to one of the recent graduates last week, and he wasn't from HCCTP. He's a Dawson graduate, but I've heard success story. I heard from his instructor and also heard from CSX about his performance. He talked about his wages. He talked about all of what he's learning. He talked about the challenges, but he also talked about the support and how people are helping to guide him in a career. And I mentioned, well, in a few years, you're going to be close to 100,000. And he stopped me. He said, no, I'm almost there. And he just started work. He's doing a lot of overtime, but he has developed into this mature ambassador. And it was just so wonderful to hear, the story from him and how this is a career for. And he mentioned he worked at UPS, he worked in so many other places, but now he can actually see a pathway in the future. And so that's how Trino has been beneficial with the diversity and inclusion, because we have staff and our institution is known and recognized within the industry, but we don't have 100% placement rate. And given everybody may or may not be interested, but for those that are, we definitely need partners who are able to bring the employers to the table, advocate, as well as help us with getting more students placed in careers. The community has improved with, one, people having an awareness and respect for construction. Two, people leaving staffing agencies, temporary jobs, unemployment, or other career industries, and now finding solid careers within construction. So for people to be able to have livable wages, and actually more than livable wages, but to be able to purchase homes, to be able to provide for their families, and to have a secure place. And I understand a lot of things aren't secure, but with those skills, they can take them anywhere, whether it's working for subcontractors, working on their own businesses. But to see students actually leave within 16 weeks and have a career, it's amazing. And so just to know that this program, which was designed by IDOT, is really focused on changing lives and providing career opportunities for students. So if someone was on the fence with working with Trino, I would definitely tell them jump on board, because they are sincere in their efforts. They diligently follow up, and they are consistent in their approach, and they have proven results. So Trino has helped us place students in construction, the railroad industry, as well as in areas that I never considered. So I kept mentioning the Rush University Medical Center and the building project. We had a former graduate who I never met in person because she graduated before I began my role. But I sent the information out. She came, she showed up, and she mentioned she wanted to transition from the labor side. And so now she's working as an administrative coordinator for a sheet metal company. And this was all through Trino Inc.